Okay, I just want you to be able, people to be able to hear you.
Okay.
Oh,
Are people coming?
okay, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Diana Lindsley, and I'm introducing Adam Wayne, who is a fabulous photographer and very interesting eye, and does a lot of interesting processing with his work. He is also an artist in resident at Soulard Gallery.
Okay, that's it. Yay! And real quick, before I turn it over to Adam, we have a new person here with us. You are? Nice to meet you, Marley. I'm Yvonne. Okay,
We cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
let us know if you have any problems seeing or hearing,
Yes, we can
okay?
hear you.
And you can see us. You can see the picture.
Yes.
I'm gonna move this over just a little bit.
So you just clicked on the first image, right, that you
Yeah.
saw, or that you liked? Oh, okay, there you go, that's it.
I'm centering it, yeah.
Yep, this is this main post that,
Okay, so the up and down arrows will move you, it should move you up and down. I don't know how to navigate Instagram very well, so you probably want to click on the photo and then,
that can click,
yeah, just tap there. There you go.
yeah, just like that. I actually like that image off the bat.
Okay.
All right, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the microphone is for the benefit of the people at home, not for us out here.
Perfect. All right, I'd like to thank you guys for inviting me to your focus group. I didn't even know about it until obviously I was invited to one. It's kind of interesting that I'm a part of a focus group for women because you know, three of the good reasons why I do take photos is one, I don't get to see one of my daughters, so it drives me nuts. So that depression really hit me and I hit rock bottom in my life. Second is I do see one of my daughters every day and I want to do more for her than anything. And then the other one is I do have a girl that I do live with. She is the mother of my child. We do have the best relationship. And that's a lot of the reasons why I'm out there a lot, trying to get my head out of things. And it's maybe sometimes despite her, but other times is to just to do something to get my head right. So I use my camera to get my head right. My life is kind of like a grudge against time. I'm late to school. I'm late to work. It's how I started photography. It's how I lost my job because I was late to work. I was late to work today. I cannot get my head wrapped. I'm 42 years old. I still cannot get my head wrapped around waking up via alarm clock. I can sleep through it sometimes. Sometimes I'll forget to set it. I grew up in a life of no structure. I grew up in a family home of party lifestyle. So I didn't go to college. I don't have any background in photography. I got into photography through depression. I lost my job at a really good butcher job at US Foods. And I cut my finger off, halfway off, it's still here. And then I used that compensatory money to buy a camera when I got that money and my daughter a bed. So that's basically how I got into photography. Was like, I lost that job. I was walking through the woods and I was looking at everything around me and I thought it was the most beautiful thing. And if I could capture that every day, I know I could be happy. I just kind of wanted to be as pure as nature and just exist like that. The beauty of nature is like so stunning. If you just pay attention to everything, really, life can be like a miracle. And you can use your camera to like tell that story. And that's kind of what I do. I use my camera more or less like a, there we go. Drop the mic. All right, let's snap that back on. But I use my camera more like a paintbrush. And the landscape is kind of like my canvas. So I don't really use my camera like a traditional photographer. I have a tripod. I barely use it. I have never even used my flash. I don't even know how to use it to like correctly. But I do have a particular mode on my camera. It's called a creative shot setting. And I use that quite a bit. And so I use that to the fullest. Like, so if it says creative shot setting on the camera, I want to take that creative shot setting and be the most creative with it. And I didn't think anybody had this camera when I first bought it. I know they don't, because they always upgrade to like a Canon Mark, whatever. And I had stumbled upon this camera and I just I won't let it go. And I basically honestly am not prepared for this meeting. This is, yeah, I'm just being, yeah. I'm just being like, I'm being clear with you guys. I'm dysfunctional, but that's who I am. I'm gonna begin real quick with a spoken word that I wrote while I was deep in my photography. It's called the True Manifesto, and it's like, it goes like this. I need a couple things to happen. I need two hands together, please. Let's start clapping. For one, a better mindset has got to happen for things to go our way. More doing, less imagine. Second, I need more reaction I say my still images need more live action. And cut. Let's start acting like a movie. Let's make it classic where all the remakes will look so plastic. Mine will be everlasting. So let's forget the past and reemerge and have these things happen. Excuse me, my name is Adam. Nice to meet you. Let's make it happen. So like that spoken word I wrote is because I want to manifest different things in my life other than being late to work all the time. I want to think about having the perfect shot, doing things that I know can be done with if you're driven. So I really just think architecture is nature and nature's architecture. I really do see the arch in the crease of my hand and the arch of your foot, obviously. It's in the little crevice of a leaf. It's in the wave of water, as you can see right here in this picture. So I call this architectural, I forget what I actually titled it. Architectural waters is what I really titled it. It's because basically I see the wave of the water and I see the arch and I see the connection in between. And I really just am so obsessed with that I want to capture it in the most beautiful way. So I actually added that ripple in that water myself. I saw it coming towards me, but it wasn't coming towards me like the way I wanted. I wanted to give it my own feel. So a lot of times something that's in the photo is a lot of times I've put myself into it. I feel like the more you put into something, the more you're going to get back. It really does. I really have a feel for things. And like, I feel like if the more energy you put in your photo as you're taking your photo, what are you thinking about? I feel like you're going to get it back. And that's what like I'm driven to do, is express myself through my camera rather than just take photos. So like even right now, like I'm doing a church series. I'm trying to make it the most me as possible. I don't do indoor photography, but I've like gone out of my fear zone and my comfort zone and asked certain churches, can I come inside? And then I've witnessed some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And you're really caught off guard. So like the most beautiful sunset, that's typically when I have the hardest time, because there's so much beauty going around. You feel like you have to like do the most with it, when really in reality it's just given you, so a lot of times I get the most creative photos when like it's just a bare blue sky, not a cloudy day. I typically just love daylight. I pride myself on just using natural light as my tool, because my camera works best in natural light. I do dabble in night photography, and I try to make everything kind of my own rather than I try to not to look at other people's photos. I've already got my style and my eye. I try to just don't look at other people's stuff as much as possible, because then I'm staying in my own head. If I stay in my own head, I know that the ideas that come across will be my own. If they'd been done before, then so be it. But at least I thought of it rather than, now I do draw inspiration sometimes. If I see something, I'll go out and be inspired. But like I was seeing right when I first started out and posted on Instagram, that's my main muse. I only use Instagram really just to post my photos and share. And that's why I have so many followers on Instagram rather than anywhere else. That's where people have found me, and I've been published in a book because of it. It's called STL Visions. I'm in the Gateway Art Store. I have metal prints for sale in the Gateway Art Store. They follow me on Instagram, so I went upon myself to ask them if you would like to collaborate. And the only reason why I got that idea is because I was in this book. And I feel like the only reason why they found me is because I kept doing it every single day, and I kept on
Enter
being
your
me.
meeting ID followed by pound.
Yep. I kept on being me rather than veer. It's very easy at my age when I first started doing it in my 30s to go the model, to take a really good looking model, put her in front of a building, graffiti or something in St. Louis and make money off of it, or make that photo look good. But there's a lot of good photographers that do that well. I just didn't want to.
Followed by pound. Otherwise,
just
just
didn't
press
wanna do
pound to continue.
Whoever's at home, put your
Sorry.
computer on Zoom.
Tell her to mute.
Who?
It's Maureen, tell her to mute.
Who?
More.
Please
Oh,
enter the
Maureen.
meeting
Maureen.
password followed by pound.
Here, I'll mute her.
You can mute. There you go. Bye-bye.
I'm gonna try to go to a different image here.
You should just be able to.
You have 16,000 followers.
I do. And that's a lot. I'd say like probably like 2,000 of that is like tit for tat. So when I first started Instagram, I was following people that I thought would follow me back
Yeah,
in St.
sure.
Louis, and they would do that. But other than that, it's been a lot of like goal oriented. I wanted to be featured one year as many times I could along Explore St. Louis Graham.
Yeah.
A lot of the other ones like St. Louis Magazine, there's quite a few that
Yeah.
post other people's photos. So I went after that. I tagged as many and took as many creative shots as possible and got featured as much. So that got me a lot of follows. I was on a radio station. I was in the newspaper. That brick photo that you see right there, a week after I found that brick right where it was at, I stamped it in the mud and it was in the newspaper just because of how cool the photo is. And I think just because I coined myself the architect because I want to change my life. It ain't just because I'm an architect. It sounds cool, but the arch is the first four letters in the architect. And I find that was creative instead of like architect or something. I was like, let's just go with architect and people will find me more serious. And it worked. People were actually kind of, whenever they meet me, they're thinking I'm completely somebody else because I'm in the art store. I'm a resident artist at an art gallery. Well, that all was found through Instagram. I was invited to a show, just kind of like maybe you guys were, or maybe you offered a show, but I was invited to a show, a photography show. And then a week or, a month goes by and they had an opening for a room. And next thing you know, I'm a resident artist because they like my stuff and they needed a photographer.
Right.
So that gives me a bigger name. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Taking that.
Yes,
More.
yeah, and then like I said, the significant other at home with my child, she doesn't like all these successes that come along with it because it takes more time out of my time. But it just makes me even more driven to do it. I'm not trying to say women are doing something bad by it, but like that I find it kind of like even today when I'm leaving, she's like, oh, that's curious. Where's that at? Huh, I didn't know that. It was kind of those kind of statements rather than, oh, here you go, babe. That's another thing for you. So it does. So those kind of things makes me more driven to like really incorporate nature is architecture and architecture is nature. And if I can get that as my niche and these shots be as creative as I could possibly get them, let me just go down a little bit further.
Definitely. When did you do, Adam?
So this was 8 years ago. I started photography, maybe like 10. So when I was 30 years old, that's when I lost my job.
Okay.
So like at 33, when I started really just diving in. Yeah. So, I mean, professionally, I've only been doing it for like 6 years, I guess, I haven't really, but it's been happening so fast. Like I believe COVID, it took a lot out of everything, the economy. So before like 2019, I was in the newspaper, I was in the book right afterwards. And then everything kind of like
Yeah,
goes a little slower.
yeah.
But I feel like if you just find your niche and you just like, that's how I really just thought I got bigger, is because I just didn't veer away from architecture's nature. And I really just kind of like find your style, and I don't navigate away from it. There's been occasional times where a model has asked me to take photos and I did it. It wasn't enjoyable, but even then I tried to make it as much of me as I possibly could, rather than, what did I learn today and how can I do that better?
Yeah.
So you learn what you need about your camera and then master your camera. I think a lot of people want to advance their camera because they want to advance their photos. Well, it can, but I believe if you just master your camera and learn how to use it to the best of ability, to get the best out of it and learn what works and what doesn't work, then you know what to do, when to do it. So, yeah, one of my more favorite photos here, if I can click on it.
You definitely have a unique style.
This one is called the watermarking. And the reason why I call it the watermarking is because I know a lot of people over there taking pictures of the east side of the riverfront, right? It's a very, very cool, unique skyline, and nobody else has it. So like when I was first taking pictures of the city, I knew that we had this iconic structure. I'm a part of it. And you see like the Eiffel Tower and some of these big Instagram pages. You'll see like, you know, a lot of famous landmarks like in New York and stuff like that. And I feel like we have the arch. I can make the arch just as iconic in that sense, that people don't really look at it like that. You know, like they just look at it like this big curved steel structure like that. What does it represent? Or what is it? Like, I was like, there's way more to that than just that. There's a reason why they use the arch. For the river bend around our city is an arch. I mean, I just looked at it the other day. I'm like, wow, this gives me goosebumps thinking about it. I think like everything is connected. Like the branches on the leaves of the tree are connected to the veins of our arms. It gives us life. It gives us air. Everything is connected. I mean, just you guys inviting me here is connected to. It makes me want to keep on going. It makes sure I'm doing things, you know, I'm doing things right if people are inviting me to speak about my photography. But I call this the watermarking because no one else can replicate that watermark. I knew my camera picked up splashes really well, and the sun was setting and I like rushed down there to get this shot, right? Well, that sun was causing this big glare in your camera. You know what that is, you know, that big red glare. Well, if you follow that glare towards the light, a lot of times it will disappear into the light and you could take your photo well. But it wasn't like the band around my camera. I don't use like a long exposure, you know, in the day at all. I don't have no filters or anything like that. I have a filter through the shot, but I don't use any equipment. So I knew through experience throwing a splash absorbs a lot of the light and it will take away a lot of that flare. And so that's what gave me the idea to throw the splash. So I threw one. I don't think it was good enough. And then I saw that the splash was kind of almost near the arch. I was like, that'd be cool if I could encompass that underneath the arch. That will make it more creative than anything. So if you see like there's a big curve of a wave right underneath it, and then, you know, right above it is kind of like my vision of the shot. And as I was throwing the rock, it happened. It was just like, and with the camera I use, it has that burst mode. It's able to pick, I think it was like the fourth shot it took, and it was the worst filtered. So each shot on my camera on that setting will take a filtered shot. And sometimes it's the worst one is the best shot. And I think I had to get to that was incredible hard. Because it was like the green version on retro mode on my camera that I took that shot on. So there's a creative shot setting, there's a retro mode, a monochrome mode, a natural, and a special. And I only use two. I use retro and monochrome. And the first shot's always the natural shot, and then the five shots afterwards are all filtered shots. And a lot of times it will zoom in and zoom out. You don't know what it's going to do; it just does it. And so that shot, it turned out to be like green, and I had to take all the green out, and then I added a little bit of purple. But I don't use Photoshop. See, I used to only use Instagram settings to filter. Yes. Check it out. That's how I first started. I was only using Instagrams. And right now, like if I go to like want to share my photo quickly and I didn't want to plug it into my tablet, that's how I edit my photos now. Photo editor is what I use on my tablet. It's just a
The
regular,
native.
yes, yeah, it's called photo editor. I don't even know.
That's.
No. So this was edited, like photo editor it was used on my tablet, but basically no Photoshop like tools. They're allowed on they're like, their capabilities on that photo editor are similar to Photoshop. You can clone and stuff, but like I don't ever really use it. Like most I'll use it with as far as editing is reflect the shot with itself. I think if you reflect nature shots a lot, you'll find that it will automatically become architecture. Like it will literally automatically become architecture. It's so wild how it will do it.
That you think you've seen every single arch photo that has ever been taken, right? That is an amazing shot, the one you just showed.
Yes, thank you. So this one right here. So this is called To Be Loved. It's basically my vision shot, my all-time best shot, I think, of the arch. And it's epitome of what I think everything about what are, nature is architecture. And this shot has composition, it has subject, it has like a kind of like a mystique about it, and it also has like an eeriness to it, like a little bit.
Your immediate eye, my immediate eye is to the two water drops and how sharp it is in those water drops. And then all of a sudden, when I bring my eyes back, I see
The whole city, yeah, the city.
background.
Yeah. So composition is big with me. Is like I'm very OCD about keeping things straight. Like I really am really bent on that. Like I can't stand when I see a crooked photo, but sometimes it works. Like there's times where I saw crooked photos, I'm like, oh, you know what, that actually works. The more and more you take photos, the more and more you can kind of find cool things to do with crooked photos. But like this particular photo that day, I had like that moment in my life where I just wanted the whole city captured in one drop. Like I think I saw a guy, yeah, well, I actually took this shot in the beginning with one drop. This was taken really cool place called Malcolm Memorial Park on the east side of the riverfront. I don't know, you probably all know it. It's like, it's got the geyser behind it. So where this is like the first tier. Okay, and then there's bars on those tiers, facing St. Louis, and they're like, so the gap between here looks way bigger than the bars are. Like, it's like this. So that photo does no representation of where I'm at. So that's what I like about it, is like no one really knows where I'm at, only then obviously you guys know where I'm at. But that day, yeah, you can't, you know how hard that was to get? Like I didn't take it with a tripod. That was all steady hand. Steady hand, and it was very hard to get a good macro water shot that clear. And I
Was the black outline of the water drop part of the shot, or is that something you added?
no, it was just contrast and light and just the curve bar. Yeah, so the level bar on my photo editor, there's like, it's like lengthwise, and you can take it and go this way with it from the middle, you can go this way with it, and from the edge, you can go this way with it. Well, it levels out the light on this end, it will level out the dark in the middle, like if you go this way, and on this end, it will like shadows, it will increase the shadow of the photo. But I really just use sharpening and leveling and then tones.
I mean, that is like.
Yeah, that's like my thing, is like if I knew that what I was seeing was more than what everybody else was kind of seeing, like whenever they were looking at the arch, I was like, I know I'm seeing. Yeah. So this photo of the Budweiser can. Yes, of course, yes.
Good.
Oh, true. So it was happening quite a bit. I was trying to find a stationary drop, like, you could see drops dropping, then occasionally, if you just pay attention, there's thicker drops that you'll look for that are stationary, that they've got enough weight to it, will just stay for a minute. That's where I was looking. And it was all about where can I get the perfect lineup where the arch is perfectly around it. Like it's all about noticing what's around you and using what's around you as your tool for your compositions. And that's how I get my creative angles. Instead of like, that's what I really just like, If I'm standing in one spot, what do I have around me? Oh, that tree's right there. Well, what connection to that tree does that building have? Well, the light off that tree looks amazing in the building. And then like you see right as you're doing it, oh, wow, this leaf looks exactly as like that roof does. The point and everything like, and so you try to add that composition to your framing, but you got to make that good. You can't just be sloppy with it. Like that's kind of what my niche is like find what's around me, make it the coolest angle you can possibly make it a connection though. You can't just be stupid with it. You got to make a connection out of it. There's got to be a story to your photo or there's no point. That's how I look at it. The beer can is like another, the beer can is another photo of me walking the riverfront and found the empty Budweiser can. And I didn't necessarily found it in that particular spot. I found it like right nearby, but it wasn't like perfectly snugged in the sand like you want it. It was just like laying on top, kind of sideways. So I picked it up and just snugged it in the sand and kind of made it with a little bit of a curve down in, like it would work coming with the arch going out of it. You get what I'm saying? Like if it was just a flat can, it would look too contrived. So even if I have elements of things like this that I can use in my shot, I don't try to make it look too contrived. Like I did it. I made it look like it's been there forever by just snugging it in the sand a little bit and like it's been there for a minute. Yeah, that's kind of like where I go with that shot. So like I make the most out of all my shots at the time I do it. And most of everything I'm doing, I typically don't have a lot of time. Like I said, I'm almost cheating on my family with my camera is how I look at it. I have like a freaking affair with my camera. And most times she's like, oh, where you been? I'm like, I was shooting, and she would look at me like I'm lying, but I'm not. I'm not lying at all. I'm not lying at all. So the mic's still there. Okay. And then like I can't, I'm having a hard time scrolling down on my Instagram page.
Here's here.
Oh,
Will that work? No. If you
Maybe
need-
remove the people.
Yeah.
panel, right? Think if you remove the panel.
oh, I got it bigger.
Go over here to the yellow button.
I just want to show some more photos that I've been taking recently.
Let's do this. No,
Oh, and unplugged.
oh, and unplugged. Sorry.
Where we at? Like I said, this is dysfunctional like me.
Good.
It's here. There you go.
Yvonne, I think if you minimize the panel, the people on the right, you plug with.
Yeah, I'm gonna move them. I'm gonna try to move them.
One of the top.
Yeah.
Left. There you go.
Now,
Yeah, that'll work.
Rolling.
There we go. We should be able to go down now. Okay. All right, I took this photo literally yesterday. So on the way home, I don't know if I can make it bigger here. Is that working? No? You can see it though. The sunlight photo, the beams of ray. Obviously the beams of light were coming through at Mo Bottoms, and I just like isolated that one particular perennial. If you just move around side to side, you'll find something to focus that beam on, is basically what I was going with it. So any opportunity I have to take a photo, I try to make it mine, like my angle. Like it's easy just to take that photo as is. It's a beautiful shot. And I did. I took it as is off the bat. And I was like, okay, what do I now that I got my beauty shot, you know, if I don't get anything else good, I have at least this shot kind of thing. Now, what do I go with it is where I usually go. So I get the shot that I knew I would get if I was just so happened to be there. And then I go about how do I get the more creative shot from here is where I usually go with things. And then, yeah, down, here we go. This particular shot.
Birds in your shot.
Yeah, so birds in my shot recently, it's just all about looking up while looking down. Like, so you get what I'm saying? My head's down, but I'm still looking up. Or like the way a bird will just has so much freedom, and it has no no true home. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of how I feel. Like I don't have any control of what my life typically does. I just, but you know, I just a free roamer. I'm like a bird. I really just relate to birds. I love, and as you get older, you kind of just look at what they do, don't you? I'm a bird watcher now as I've gotten older.
Oh, yeah.
Just as like these churches, as I'm going down, look at this particular photo right there in the middle. That's the basilica, right? I'd never been in the basilica, but like I figured when I took this shot, I'm like, yeah, this is a fantastic shot, but I know someone has stood right here, probably took this particular angle, only because they have a marker to show you, yeah, that will show you where you're at. Like you're in the center of the shot, basically. And so I just toned it. So on photo editor, if you take the level, sometimes you could just swap the colors and it'll work. It's like called swap. So it'll take the blue from the sky and turn this grass blue and the sky is now green on those particular shots. But I think I just used the tone level from on one of the bars and just see what it would look like from pink to red to yellow to pink to red to yellow, blue. Oh, blue looks really neat. So that's what it just made it my own for one. And it also brought out more detail. And then everybody was like, just raving about like how cool that shot was when I know if I just posted it as is, it would have got a few likes, it would have got a few comments, but it wouldn't have got, yeah, it would have been too ordinary. So I tried to just and I tried not to go overboard with it. Like I just try to either do tones or like I said, I'll reflect a shot with itself. Sometimes we'll find like, yeah, this one in particular. So this is a shot that you would see like somebody else take, right? But like what I did here was instead of going, I flipped it. Like this shot is actually not going down, it's actually going up. Well, the way you would look at it, I rotated the shot. So instead of looking at it from the right or the left, you're now looking at it from the right. And it looks like it's going down. When it didn't before, it looked like it was going up for some reason. But it looks really eerie, right? I took that it's one of those churches where I kind of just didn't know it was open. And I opened the door and no one was there, like as far as like the sessions were going. But I was like, I really want a high point of view from the church because they got the best views, right? And I like was opening every door to see if I can get up to the top when I know I probably shouldn't have. And I forget what church this was. I think it was St. John Apostle. I forget what it was. But every one of those steps was making a noise. It was the most creepiest steps ever. And then I get up to the top, I open the door and I'm at the top of the church where they have the piano. And I don't think I was supposed to be up there either because it just like every step was like, it was just like the most oddest thing. So I like dipped really quick and got out of there. But I got that shot. So I am from Florissant. That's where that tree shot is.
Cool.
I actually really love that area, the Bow Bottoms area. The one to the right, the purple flowers, is another tone shot that I use my tone. I think those are purple flowers, but I got more of a deeper tone with it. Just by using that level, I made it my own. That's basically what I go with things. It's trying to make, even with the basilica right there to your left, that's like, I saw green on green on green. And so I was just trying to like, where can I get at this building where I can get a tiered shot? Yeah. So I just look for cool creative compositions is what I like to go. If I'm not doing exactly what I'm trying to do, like, so someone told me to go do a church series. So they're forcing me to do something I typically wouldn't do. I still try to make it yours. Like as much as you possibly can, I try to make it mine. And so that's really, and then these art shots I was taking recently, I grew up out of like this thought. So that petal of the flower is the same shape as the arch in the front. So if you see right there, that little petal right here in the front, it's the same exact shape. And so that's my inspiration of all things, is that. So if I can get that in your guys' head all the time when I'm taking photos, that's what I'm trying to do. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, is just trying to get everybody's attention to what I'm thinking. So I'm trying to tell a story every time I'm like, pay attention to this, pay attention to that, the light, like the sunlight. That's what more or less is like sunlight to me. My mom used to call me sunshine as a kid. Maybe that's why I love sunlight so much.
Like that center one.
This one?
The center one with the white and the black, that is so
So
fabulous.
this is the St. Louis Abbey, the Abbey Church. So I'm gonna go down a minute. You can see it right here.
Mm,
Yeah, this one is in Chesterfield. So
mm.
the reason why I know about this church is because that's where I had that US Foods meat cutting job in Chesterfield. And that's how I got to know about like fog and foggy mornings, because going into the valley in the morning to that job, it was like the most beautiful and stunning thing I've ever seen in my life. The sun would come up from behind and you were driving into the valley and the fog would always be there. And when you go down into it, then you get to look behind and the sun's right at you. It's just, and then I had to go into work every morning. I was like, oh my gosh, if I could just do this every day. And then it was like, that was what I would do at work on break. I would go to the creek nearby and then just think about, like, I would look down and I would see the reflection of trees in the leaf. And I would just think about, I'm looking down, but I'm still looking up kind of feeling. And that's the feeling like photography gives me. And that's what I kept on trying to do. So this above it is just the same picture, but flipped to make it look like cups of coffee is what
I love it.
like Alice in Wonderland, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I just, and so this is Rock Church. Yeah, you wouldn't. So there's that, and then there's this one too. Yeah. I'm so enthralled by the faces on these churches and like some of the stories that it tells. You don't know what it's saying, but it's saying something sometimes. You just don't know what it's saying. Like there's something there. Like, why is that face in that doorway? Like, but like, so that I always like go for what captures my eye, and then how do I make this? It showed off to me. So how can I show off to it by making it the most glorious photo, or to me anyways, at the time of what I'm doing? How can I possibly make this the coolest angle? Yeah, like, so I saw all these birds walking from taking photos to my truck where I parked at the day. And then they're all lined up on that building near on Laclede Landing. And you could, if you're just paying attention, you could see it all happening, you know, and oh, see those birds. So if I walk, maybe a half mile down, that will be in my shot now with the arch. And I kind of got with that in my frame. And then I waited for one of the birds to fly away to make it more of a scene, like to make it more of like, that's what I feel like. They're all sitting there doing one thing, but I'm gonna do another.
Mm.
Like, while everybody's doing this, I'm gonna do that. That's kind of how I look at it. Yeah, and that's how I look at it with my photography too. Like, while they're all taking photos of abandoned buildings and they're getting their high-rise shot, they'll get up on top of the building, they'll stick their feet off the building kind of shot. Or they'll get a drone. Like, that's something I don't want to do. I don't want to narrate because drone photography is cool, but it's just so simple to me and there's no emotion behind it at all. And that's what I love about photography, because it makes me feel so good to go out there and it's like yoga to go out in the woods alone, because you're kind of scared being alone in the woods, but you're also like enthralled by the beauty. So like there's two things going in me, and there's just like this fear, and then there's just this beauty at the same time. So that's what I feel about like nature. It's so raw and beautiful, and that's what life is. It's so raw and beautiful. And like, you want to show that off in your photos, and that's what I try to do as much as possible, is just go about. In this particular shot where it says N backwards, so it says NI, that was at work. So I'm like looking out my door at my butcher job, wanting to go out there and take that sky picture so much, but I can't. I'm stuck. That's why I wrote that little caption where you're clocked in, but you want it out. That's how I feel about my job. Like, I have a good job. It's a meat cutter job. I'm a butcher, but I finally get something. Like, I didn't go to college. I just learned to trade because I knew I wasn't good at school. So I learned to trade, and now I got a decent paying job. I can't get to work on time. So it's like that whole battle in your head. And I know I'm better than this because I'm like the baddest worker when I get to work. I'm headstrong. I work hard, and it's just me getting up. Just getting there. So, I mean, even now, my boss, he lives down the road from me. He knocks on my garage door. It woke me up 2 times this week. Today, it didn't. I slept right through it, and I looked at him. I have no idea how it happened. And so like I battle like that So, and now that I'm taking pictures, I'm capturing time. So I'm always, it's about time with me. And I feel like, so my middle name is Wayne. So you won't know me as Adam Allenball. That is my full name, Adam Allenball, Adam Wayne Allenball. But people don't know me as that. They know me as Adam Wayne. There's reasons because I wanted to change my whole persona about who I was and what I do, who I am. This allows me to do that. So that tree, with me standing underneath that tree, the arch, that's like an isolated tree. There's probably like a dozen trees that line it, but I was able to crop it to where there's like only a solo looking tree. And I put that camera on the top of my camera bag and put it on a self timer and put it on monochrome mode and just stood underneath the tree because it represents everything, really. Growth. It represents what architecture is, nature is what my whole niche is. Yep. So, and then that crystal ball is like one of those things that you buy as a photography prop, right? That was like the first thing I bought was a crystal ball. And I think I lost my first one. I think I mean, I'm very haphazard with things, but it works. I make it work. And then,
Cool.
so there's some icicle shot. So like, if you see the curvature in the icicle, it's the same shape as the arch. That's what I see. And then this big old chunk of, you wouldn't know, but that's a big giant chunk of ice that I'm holding in my hand. So I found it like walking down there. I'm like, well, how do I add this to my shot? And I couldn't set it up on anything without it falling over because it's a piece of ice. And it was rounded. It was literally like a round piece of ice with all these holes stuck through it. I'm like, what is this? And how do I use it in my shot? And so I just held it in my hand. And then I ended up taking it with, with the other hand. That's how I took these in sequence, that one in particular. I was holding with my hand. But I love water. That was my first art show at the Soulard Art Gallery was the art of water. And it was really neat to like, basically, because that's how I started getting good at what I like to do. Was I started projects early on when I first started photography. I didn't like learn that on my own. I saw it on a post. Someone said project this or project that. I'm like, oh, projects. I've never thought about starting a project before. And so I did. Every month it was a different project. The art of water, it was my first one. Then it was the art of the leaf, art of the tree. And then I did the art of the black and light. Instead of black and white, it was black and light. So it gave like ability to change throughout the month, do light photography and black and white and black, it was a cool thing to do. And the art of the prop was one. So by the end of the year, I felt like I was honed in on prop photography, black and white, water, leaves, things I like to do. And then I just went crazy on getting a job downtown with the arch, it allowing me to do that. So I unplugged myself again, did I? Oh, okay. So I will open it up for any questions if you guys want to ask any more questions. Yes.
What's the name of it?
It is a Canon PowerShot SX540. So it's a basic point and shoot camera that you could buy at Best Buy for like $350. And it has no exchangeable lens in it. It just has a really long range. Like I don't typically take long range shots because the less pixels you have with a longer range, but I can pick up a very long range shot to a very macro shot with this. And I just put this hood lens on it. It didn't come with it. I bought this. So it comes looking like this. That's what it comes looking like. But it's a Canon PowerShot SX540 HS. And I just stumbled upon the first model of this. Well, it was the SX530 or 20. And this one has 20 megapixels. The other one I had before had 16. So this allows me to get more clarity out of the image. But other than that, I don't know any photography lingo or lenses or types of cameras or any of that stuff. I just found out that I'm good at using this guy and I don't want to ever go back to like, I might advance to the newer one. Like if they come out with the XX5, 60 and it has 25 megapixels, but it has the same creative shot setting on it, I'm definitely going to go for it. But other than that, I don't try to like upgrade or go off and do anything else. I could probably do like you could probably put exchangeable lens on this. I wouldn't know it, but who knows?
Did you say that was a power shot? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Canon PowerShot SX540. Yep.
It's probably less about the equipment, it's more about the person using. it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I pride myself. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I pride myself on it being just really about how you use your camera. And then like, even if you're selling your work, it's about how you present your work. So I saw these metal prints being done. Well, actually a customer asked me for a metal print. So my first metal print I got at Walgreens and it was the worst thing I ever did. Because well, listen, because like even today, I don't get my prints done at there. I go to Diversified Labs to get my prints, but I was in a hurry and I got you all Walgreens prints because I was dysfunctional and I was in a hurry. But what I'm saying is I found out that there was a customer that bought a metal print from me and then he had also bought metal prints from somebody else. And that's how I found out about Diversified. And then I was like, well, my prints would look really nice on metal. Certain particular ones like the watermarking, like you have to really be selective on what you put on metal and what you put on poster. Like other photos would look great printed and framed, but I'm horrible with framing. I have no background in any of it. So like I typically go with a metal print or I'll just get like poster prints and I might buy a nice frame, but typically I go with metal. So that's my niche. So if you go in my room at the art gallery, you'll see mostly my whole full room is metal printing. Yeah, it works well. And it works well. It's dynamic, it's colorful, it's vivid. And it's kind of my niche. So like, not only do I take cool art photos, but they're mostly always on metal. So yeah, you could pass that around. Yeah. Yeah, please. No, actually you cannot take that one home. I have only 2 books left out of the 10 I got.
Yeah.
No, so there's 4 photographers. I'm the most featured photographer in that book. I have 20 images out of 100 images. Okay, yeah, so I was like I was sharing my images like crazy on Instagram and all of a sudden I get a message saying through email, would you like to be featured in a STL Visions book? And I was like, of course. And then it went through that. Like, that's what got me into buying a tablet because they wanted me to send files of my shots, which I've never done before. So this was all new to me. So I had to start editing my photos differently. Like I said, I used to edit them on Instagram. That was like how I did it. And then I was like, oh, I have to actually get a full file. What's 300 PXI? I don't even know what you're talking about. And that's what they need a resolution of 300 at least of that. And that's what the tablet, I stumbled upon the tablet and the photo editor app. And that's basically how I was able to even be in that book and share those photos. So I sent them over like 100 images and they chose 28 and put in that book. Yeah, well, it's called Cityscapes Books and they do other cities. They got Ozzie Smith to be in the opening where he says he's the author of the book. He's not the author of the book, but he might have wrote some things he might have wrote some transcripts, but like what's cool is I'm the first picture. When you open it up, I'm the first picture. It says Adam Wayne Arts right there on the top. No, that one ain't it. They used more traditional, but they did use a little bit more, some of my creative shots, but not a lot. It worked well because those particular photos, they wanted in a certain year frame. It was during COVID and I got furloughed at my job and at that time, yeah, I was getting paid, they were giving us money at the time. And I was like, well, everybody's at home. This is the only time where I felt like I had the key to the city because no one was walking around. So I was like, well, I'm just going to brave it. I'm braving it. And I literally took photos like I was going to be in a book. Like I literally had that in my head. Like, how can I kind of still make them my own and take pictures, like candid pictures, like people walking by this place, or take a picture of this area, but in my style. And then like, I was just taking photos type books. And then next thing you know, that publisher contacted me. And it's like, the more I thought about things, the more things were happening. So like, that's what the whole True Manifesto was about, is the more I was thinking about things, the more I was doing it, the more I was being positive, the more it was coming to me. It was like a book of attraction, like the law of attraction it's literally was happening more and more. It's kind of like died off because I've had to get more jobs because of the economy and working more. but I'm still I'm still at an art gallery. I'm still having people ask to speak. You know, like, it's not like the sales are off the roof, but like, if you keep going through the ups and downs, you're just gonna keep going up. Like, there's no end to how big this photography thing can go.
So
I really want like a show one day like this.
question, what's your best-selling shot and what's your favorite shot?
Okay. Yeah, the raindrop shot is my favorite particular shot. As far as what it represents and is what my niche is, do I have like, what was your first question? I'm sorry. Best-selling shot. So it was probably the Budweiser can shot. Yeah. Ain't that wild? Well, it's because it's like, what's more St. Louis than Budweiser and the Arch? And I guess just the way it's set in, the way it looks, it just looks iconic. Cause I even put like it just happened and I kind of put like a nostalgic bluish tone to it, to look even like the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
I made it look that way to make it look more nostalgic. So it's like a staple photo of mine. Now, I guarantee like most of these photos that I'm showing you are not like literally my favorite because there's some photos like this one, the 2025 in the water right here. You see that? What that represents this year, what I want to work on is my personal life. So things are might have some tears behind it because I'm working on myself. That's kind of how I looked at that photo. Everything has kind of a representation to it, is what I look at in my photos. This one in the middle. Yeah, the reason being 2 is my favorite number. There's 2 parts of the arch. I was born on the 2nd. I'm the second born. I'm born in 1982. So like 2 is kind of like my thing. And I think everything's connected. So if I'm connected to this, it's connected to me. I found out my dad has the same birthday as the architect of the arch. And he passed away on September 1st and I was born on September 2nd. And I found this out after being a part of the arch. Like, I didn't know it. I didn't do it just because I found that out. No, I found it out after it that Erie Osarian has the same birthday as my dad. And I was born a day after he passed away, date-wise. I don't think it was the year, but I found it as a rebirth. Yeah.
Same year that the St. Louis Cardinals won
What-
the World Series.
Correct. Yes. Yes. It was a very magical year. And I got my middle name Wayne from being born in Dallas, Texas. They didn't have a name for me. So my grandpa went down there like, name him John Wayne. My mom's like, I'm not naming my son John Wayne. And they kept the Wayne. But I find it cool that he was a shooter. He was known as shooter and a camera. What do? You shoot with your camera. So like I find connections when there probably ain't a connection, but I find connection where there are connections. And that's what my whole photography is. Like this bird with the arch right there, I toned it pink to make it more represent. I swapped it, I think, or something. Like I could have just kept that the same. It's a good photo. Well, like the composition is great. Like it's sitting on top of the millennium, like a new millennium. So there's a meaning behind it if you put a meaning behind it as well. Like you don't have to like look at it and know the meaning, but if you put a meaning behind it, then you're like, oh yeah, I get it now. So a lot of my photos have great creative titles along with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't take a photo without trying to make a cool caption. Cuddle Time Fan. The reason why I liked that title is because I would love to cuddle up with a pile of leaves. And I do love to cuddle. And so I toned it pink. And you've never seen a pink leaf before. Like I love this shot alone, but I was like, what can I make? Can I make this different?
Oh,
Can I make this
girl.
different? I bet this part of my photography, I was really messing with the tools, like the tone bar, swapping all the colors. Yep. So if you have any other questions, I would love to answer.
Do you, when you post to Instagram, do you just, post natively or do you use like a scheduling tool or?
Oh, no, there is a scheduling tool, but no, I just do it randomly. I try to post at least 3 in sequence because I'm so OCD about how it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Three that are similar or something.
Yeah,
like
or yeah,
a series
yeah,
of three.
yeah, I like to keep it like set, a lot of times when I'm posting, they'll all connect to each other somehow. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing.
I know you don't photograph a lot of humans, but you said for more architecture.
Yep,
If you were to photograph humans, and this is the question for the group as well,
sure.
do you need to ask their permission to do that?
Yeah, typically you do, well, no, so if they're in a public space and they had just so happened to walk by, you don't necessarily need their permission to take their photo, but to use it to sell, yeah, you're supposed to.
If you're, for example, you look over at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could take that photo. Yeah. Yeah, if you're in a public space, yeah, but a lot of times if I'm doing those types of photos, I always wait for the back end, like if them turning around or the side profile. So at least if anything, they can't recognize them completely, or I can silhouette them through like a black and white. You know, if it's just behind them, you could just use that as a black and white photo silhouetted. That's usually how I go with it. Yep, I don't like try to get people's face. I shy away from like just getting the back of someone is what I like. Them walking away or them walking by.
You're in the public, it's implied that there's, yeah, that expectation you're in a public place, and then I think
Yep,
you can use it editorially. Is that like one of these?
yeah, yep.
And so, yeah, but I'm not, yeah, I'm not so, yeah.
I love this photo right here because this is like organized chaos right here. It really is. And all the energy, like, okay, like I said, everything's connected. Everybody's connected right here through through the telephone lines, electricity. Everybody's talking. We don't even see it, but it's happening. Yeah, you can't see it through all the madness, but you know what I'm saying? Like through all the madness, I'm still focused on that arch for I feel like it's my mission.
So you making that splash, right? And you're.
Correct.
Make that splash.
Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, I look for random rocks around me where I'm gonna do like, so I'm obviously love reflections, but like, how can I make this reflection my own? Is typically how I look at it. Can I make a really neat splash is where I go with it. How I usually go with, can I make it my own watermark? If it's my own watermark, like I use it as a metaphor in life and as a photo, like in literally. You know what I'm saying? Like literally and in metaphorically.
That reflection, rather?
Yeah, I manipulated the tone of it. This is not the shape. Nope. This one right here. So I added the ripple with my hand like this. I gave the water and then I wait until like the perfect like arch. Kind of like it took me maybe a couple of shots to get that perfect kind of like look I wanted. But yeah, I just give it, or if I don't want to use my hand, I just tap with my foot. Yeah, and as I'm taking, I kind of just wait, or that burst mode will take 6 shots for you and you'll find which one looks the best through editing when you're looking through your photos. I like to go down a little further because this was me going crazy on the graffiti wall, and that's not like me. I did it because I wanted to show, like the Paint St. Louis was going through there and they're gonna repaint the wall. And one of my new goals is to have one of those cool mural artists paint one of my photos. So like a collaboration. So I have talked to one and it will happen, but I just haven't done it yet. But I was really just like, so how can I get their attention? That was like me, that one in the middle, I sold on metal not too long ago because someone
I
wanted
love
it. It's basically a graffiti. It's like one of the top mural artists in St. Louis. You wouldn't know it, but it is. Behind that, I'm in my car. I'm in my car with that one. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm typically not in my car taking shots, but if I am, it's rain. I'm gonna really make it this a cool looking shot. Abstract. Also, like it's just different. I use it. I mean, it's been done before, but I try to use it like my own. Try to make it your own. Yeah, what's really cool about that is like in between that arch, it says Battle for St. Louis on the wall. It says Battle for St. Louis right there. Someone had did the scene of Battle of St. Louis, and there was like tanks and stuff like that. And then, yeah, it's like, I mean, there's a cool Budweiser sunburst shot. I love that. Like the Science Center even follows my Instagram page, which is kind of neat.
Are you out shooting, Adam? Like, how many days a week or how many hours do you think?
I probably take pictures probably. Well, if I can every day, I will, but no, lately I can't. So it's probably 3 to 4 times a week. But now it's like I work 2 jobs and I only have one set day that I have anytime really, Saturday. So Saturday day is like my one day. But now lately I was like on my way home, I could get that shot. I could hit that church up on the way home and I will try to get a really neat angle of that church because I'm doing a church series. It makes sense for me to do so. Like I try to do stuff that makes sense for me at the time rather than just like I say, like I am sporadic, I am random, but I do have some kind of a little bit of a structure to the madness. Like this particular, this is near downtown, like
And
yeah, but it reminds me of architecture's nature because I see a big A is what I see. And then in this, it's literally in a circle of nature. Like there's no one around it. There's nothing around it.
you know, lands in the foreground.
Yeah, the angle is all like, so what you see is what you got to show is is basically my niche is like, if I'm seeing it, I hear. So that's a flip reflection. So the shot is actually taken from the opposite, I just reversed it. So it'd be cool. Yeah. And that ripple is mine too. I use my hand, I think on that one. I use that reflection pool on those 2 sides of the arch a lot as like a muse of mine. You can use abstract, you can do real cool abstract with that. Water, yeah. That's a little, this right here is a little, those little lenses you can put on your phone?
Oh, yeah.
Those like, I don't even know if they sell them anymore. This was probably back in like a few years ago. They might still sell them. But yeah, this goes on your phone, but I never used it on my phone. I just used it as a prop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like having your own little lens in your hand. And this was one of my favorite photos, actually. This is at Creve Coeur Lake. You wouldn't know it by the look of the photo. You wouldn't know it's Creve Coeur Lake. But I love this. I put this leaf there, I put this feather there, and I put that drop there with my finger. So I put my fingertip in the water, and I know that feathers are very water resistant. And you just put the little feather, and and there's another photo where I put a ripple in that water. It just reminds me of like something Ansel Adams would do. And the only reason why I know that is because I was in an art show and you had to like represent who you like looked up to. And I didn't look up to anybody, but I was like, well, Ansel Adams has a similar name to me and he's a photographer and he's well known. So I like looked through my shots and I looked through his shots. I'm like, well, he does have a similar look to what someone of mine did. And I literally did, I entered the second show at Solar Art Gallery. It was like a tribute to your favorite artist, Ansel Adams was mine. Yeah. That's another one of my top sellers, actually. I've sold this one probably over 20 times. On metal and poster, yeah. I call it seats taken, kind of like Forrest Gump. Like you can't sit here, seats taken. Like this is my seat, like I've taken it. I'm taking over. You can find another seat.
That point I want to make to you.
Yeah.
I think for me, in experiencing what you're saying and who you are and the work that you're sharing with it, you are a phenomenal artist.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I've been doing this a long time, but I am so moved by your words, your images,
Thank you so much.
that I don't know, it gives me goosebumps.
Oh, thank you so much.
This picture, this one here with the bench.
Yes.
In any of your pictures, how do you decide where you're gonna focus? When you're looking at that scene, you see the arch you know, way in the foreground.
Yep, but I also see the arch of the bench.
So you. Something emphasize something in every image
Yep.
that you take.
Yeah, so whatever's catching my eye at that particular moment, I want to show it off to its fullest. So what was catching my eye there was all the light catching the water. It just rained, and I love it when it just rains and you can walk around and see all the sparkling going on, because that really makes every photo look beautiful, right? And I think we are water. I'm connected with water it's just my thing. It's like, I think it's my most favorite thing to take pictures of is water. So like, that's what drew my attention, and I knew there was all this water on the bench, and the bench has these little cool archways in it. And how do I implement the water and the archways and the bench and the arch at the same time with the fall leaves? So I was looking around at the best like spot to like all of that to happen. And-
Peter Plaza?
Yeah, yep, it's Keener Plaza.
Yeah, it's a very cool shot.
Yeah, like you could be anywhere there and maybe get a great shot, but like, how do I make this my own? And this is kind of like where I go with that. I love this shot too. That someone had made a mural of someone drinking a bottle of St. Louis. And the reason why I really love this shot is because like I feel that. And I also captioned a lot of my shots called STL Thirsty. That's that Budweiser shot. I actually titled it STL Thirsty. And I often say stay thirsty, like, because I love water, and I say like, instead of stay hungry, I say stay thirsty. And I found this mural out of nowhere while taking mural pictures that someone did of someone drinking St. Louis. I loved it. I felt the artist, what he was talking about. He's drinking St. Louis. Trying to get away from some of the, this one in particular, St. Louis shot, this composition's amazing, by the way, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm driving home, I'm on Mo Bottoms Road from Earth City, leaving my fabulous fish cutting job, and I see a St. Louis sign in the one way. And I love one way, like the one way, it has like a lot of meaning to it too. It's like, so I saw the St. Louis, and then as I'm in my rear view, I saw the one way underneath it. I'm like, oh, that'd be perfect with them together. So I get out of my car and I take the picture. And as I'm taking the picture, this Arch truck drives by. It says Arch right there on that truck. It literally says Arch. So why does that happen? I don't know.
Perfect.
But it was like perfect timing. And that's what it meant to be. So also my first commission, my biggest commission ever, I'm in this building, this PWC building, when they built Ballpark Village building. So a Turning Art, a company contacted me and they wanted local photography in this building, and they have 14 of my shots commissioned in this building. So this particular angle of this St. Louis, symbol was taken at that angle for a reason, because I wanted that building to be in the shot, because that's my first commission. No one really, I've never actually seen it. I know it's in there. But I wanted that building to be in the shot, but also be a very unique angle at this particular, and when you print this off on metal, because I've sold it a few times, it looks so like in your face, vibrant. That's what's so cool about metal prints, is like, it will change, how you present photography is really about like how it will be, like the ducks that you submitted, right? You did a traditional frame, right? In a mat, did you not? Beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, if I would have done it, I don't even know what I would do. Like, I would just kept that in a poster print and hopefully someone buys it, because I won't know what to do with that. Like, that's what I try not to do to myself. It's like, so if I took that shot, how could I make this like a really cool black and white shot? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it would really look good on metal, or it would look, I mean, I look at it like that. Like, I love that shot. That's probably the first shot I would have took. And then I would have been more creative with it. I would have got down maybe with the ducks down there and got like an isolated shot. And then like, that's how I look at things like that. Like I see classic nature photography, but like every time I see something like that, I want to make it my own. That's kind of how I look at it. Like, if it ain't making it your own, then what's the point? That's how I look at it. Now, if it's right, no, maybe it ain't, but it is for me. Cause it's what makes me, yeah, it's what makes it's not right for everybody, but like even these three birds in the shot. This little bird was ruffling his feathers. You know how they ruffle their feathers? And they get and then like this one feather was sticking up and looked like he was flicking me off. It made so much St. Louis sense though, like if you stare at someone long enough, St. Louis, you're just gonna get the middle finger, right? I love that shot, man. I really do. Oh, and this shot right here with the clouds in the background. So I'm walking up on, oh, actually, the billowing clouds day. I love billowing clouds days because you can make churches look amazing. You can make birds look amazing with it in the background. And then I was thinking that with this particular statue in mind. I was like, if I take it in black and white, you're really going to see it. Now I could have kept it in color, but you're not. I think with the photo editor, I can blacken the sky too. Yeah. So if you blacken the sky, then the clouds really come out, right? And also, if you silhouette this, if you add contrast and then take the toolbar, the level bar or the curve and it will literally darken all of your certain tones. It will just darken them. But that's one of my favorite St. Louis shots. Statue shots anyways. How do I get off of that? Oh, this crane shot's one of my favorite too. That's on Mo Bottoms Road. Like you wouldn't know it, but I'm on Mo Bottoms Road. Where it floods, where they grow crops and there's water puddles, you'll find cranes. Like today I saw one particular crane, but there was 5 that day. And I would never get that close to that crane. So I turned around in my car, rolled my window down, and I got that through the window. You wouldn't know it, I'm in my car. But you can't get that close.
Wrapped because you had to flip around and catch the light.
It's really about like, no, like you do it so many times. Like now it's like a thing I just do. Like I'm just go right down the road. I know where exactly where to turn. Yeah. It's another one of my favorites too. I saw this on that St. Louis art museum.
Oh, yeah.
That's on top of the building, right? That's like some kind of I don't know what it is, but I've never seen it. So I wanted that on top of his shoulder, like a chip on my shoulder. Like there's knowledge here that I don't know what's about, but that's why there's a chip on my shoulder. Like that's how I feel with like the arch and the water and the connectivity. Like I know I'm making sense of things, but I still haven't got it. Like I'm still on a journey of like there's something more here. And when I'm driving, I'm driving around St. Louis, I'm always scratching the surface of like what I've seen and what I can make more seen by people. Yeah, I just recently went to Cahokia for the first time. Yeah. This is my favorite shot I took there. Why? Because this guy's walking up the steps and I got the arch right here in this box, in this frame, kind of like a picture frame. He didn't know it, but I was sitting there waiting for someone to walk up. Because I saw a few people walk up, right? And I was like, okay, what else can I do while I'm here? I'm only here once. And I found that little square. I'm like, oh, I can fit the arch right here. And they're like, well, it really needs a person. And I just waited for the longest time. And he was looking at me probably like 10 minutes. He looked right at me while you can't tell because I added so a face is involved, like she was asking. I didn't want his face to be involved, so I just added more contrast to the photo and made it black and white so it would look like a silhouette. Yeah. That's a reflected image right here. So it was just like half that photo, right? The shot I took was half that photo. The clouds were going in the flower. I thought it was really cool looking, but I reflected it, it turned into Batman. It turns into Bruce Wayne. Like that's what I think of myself as like Bruce Wayne. Yeah, it turns into like a lot of things you don't see until you reflect it. Like one of my most favorite shots, I don't know if I could get to it in time while I'm here, but it was a tree at Forest Park and it's like coming at you down to like ground level, like the branches, this big, thick branch. So I took it at that angle, like the branch is coming at you. Well, I reflected that and it turned into this gigantic A, like out of nowhere. And then on the sides is the tree and it's like giving me one of these like that. And like, I mean, literally the tree's looking at me like this and it turned itself into an A and then like, I'm like, how did this happen? So, and I turned that into a tapestry. It's in my man cave now. It's like a 6 foot, 8 foot tapestry. And it's a gigantic tree A. And it represents everything I do is architecture's nature, nature's architecture. So.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So I really try to like go all around and try to do a lot of different things, but still stay in my own little element. This is another one of my favorite arch photos. Why? Because I was talking about people go on top of the buildings and put their feet off that top of the building to get that vertigo cool shot, but they all do the same thing. Well, I took my feet and dumped them over the reflection pool of the arch and reversed the shot so it looks like my feet are on top of the arch.
Mhm.
Tap the water to make it my ripple, and then a heart formed in the water.
That's cool.
Yep, little heart. And what's cool about that even more is like, if you want to put more meaning in behind it, the sole of your shoe is the soul of your, like it all connects. Like there's more connectivity to it than you think. And that's why I even like was trying to make it like my own ripple. The heart just came out of coincidence, pure coincidence. That's a few times the heart has came at me or to me through water. Like the arch apparently will turn itself into a heart a lot. Cause it's like it's just like in the water, it's connected like a little round. It's just really, it will form different shapes and cool. It's just really neat. Yep. And that is my presentation. You guys have any other questions?
Fabulous.
I do have my own art show this Friday. You guys are, 2 of you guys are in it, if you guys want to be there. Free drinks, live band. Yep. Thank you again. I really do appreciate it. This was fun. It was way more relaxed than I thought it was.
Thank you.
You are fabulous.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You did want a gift certificate, so here's a little token of our.
Yeah, I
appreciation.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So much.
Yeah, I don't drink wine and I don't go out to eat. And what else is, I don't drink coffee.
Coffee, yeah, I wine gift certificate or coffee, and he's like, I'll do either of those.
Yeah,
How about cash?
yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I just basically just work and I drink energy drinks, so I'll just probably buy some Monsters tomorrow with it.
Yeah.
Get to work on time.
Yeah, and get to work hopefully on time. Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the job.
Thank you.
You guys at home have any questions?
Yes.
Well, I don't really have a question, but what I do want to say is that you are a true inspiration. Oh, I do want to say that you're a true inspiration. What I loved mostly about you is that you don't have to have expensive camera gear and things like that. And I think that allows you to just be completely, you're like, truly, you're creative. The creativity that comes out of you is just like totally amazing. The stuff that I see today just wants me to go out and be creative, throw away my expensive gear and just go out there and
Thank you
hopefully.
so much.
So
you.
I just find you very inspirational.
I'm glad you said that. That made my day. That's what makes me want to continue to be more creative is like things like that. When I'm told things like that, it makes me want to cry, really, to be honest with you. I
Well,
appreciate it.
thank you so much.
Very honored.
Appreciate it.
So this type of thing I truly have admiration for because I don't see this way,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just doesn't,
It's more, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's more about motion.
Not wildlife or creatures.
Yeah, and the whole focus here to me, to you guys, is not to tell you what to do. It's just what I do that works.
Well, it's working.
authenticity to it. And again, my day job is operations. I'm a logical thinker.
Yeah.
And my artistry is I have to force myself. And so seeing your authenticity in your photography,
Yeah,
yeah, it's awesome.
it makes it fun when you really develop an art form.
Yeah.
Like say if someone figured out how to play guitar and then now they can play good songs, That's how I feel with my camera. And there's other days where I'm like, what am I doing? Do I actually get paid to do this? There's lots of days where I take the most crappiest photos because I'm not in there at the right time or I'm not in the right mood. A lot of it has to do with your mood. Not every day you're gonna have the flow. Like there's certain days where you will have the flow and some days you won't. And the more days you put yourself out there, the more days you'll have flow. That's how I look at it. The more days you'll have flow. And so I put myself out there a lot. And I don't care what people think, I just do it.
There you go.
Well, whatever they think highly.
Thank you so much.
Very nice.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And the
Thank you
mic
so much.
over at home, guys? You could hear well?
Yes.
Good. Good.
Thank you so much, Adam.
I have a photo for you guys too. I don't know how you guys will get it, but I brought a photo for everybody to have, so
Yay.
All right, thank you.
I'll
Well,
give it to them.
yeah, we'll make sure you guys online get them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stop now, okay?
Okay.
Gotta figure out how to do it now. I just figured it
Have a
out.
good night.
I quit. Meeting for